Right. So welcome to this video where I'll be learning the Italian game. I'm gonna learn this opening, not really so you don't have to, but the key goal is to reimburse myself in an opening that I have played before, but I don't know if I really understand all the nuances of the position. And I want to kind of give my commentary on it, so maybe that is a little bit easier. Maybe you just learn openings easier when someone else is kind of learning and just kind of being like a friendly face so that you can understand it as well. But yeah, the Italian game has been a popular opening for centuries, and it's still played at the highest level today. Learn the key ideas to play the Italian with either side. All right, so they have, let's actually start. Let's start. Black to move. White's threat to f7 is ineffective in this position. How should black defend and achieve a good game? All right, white threats to f7 is ineffective. Boom. How should black defend and achieve a good position in the game? Well, immediately when I see a pawn like this, it's like the king is right here, so it just needs a little bit more help with, if you give the queen, you'd be sacrificing the queen, so the queen is out of the question in this scenario. Immediately I'm looking at bringing the rook over to help, but what better way to bring the rook over than to castle? So that was my stuff. All right, good start. White captured on f7 anyway. How should you respond? No brainer, take with the rook, and they take, and I take with the king. Now, why I knew that one so well is because I've played other games like the King's Indian or the Perks Defense, and you kind of get a similar situation where they'll kind of have that pawn attack, and people think that just because they're winning a pawn and a rook, that's 6 points. So it's like, oh, and I'm giving up a knight and a bishop, then that's 6 points. But in the long run, 2 minor pieces for the rook, and then you get a pawn as well is not a good trade. And I know that from experience because you're losing 2 minor pieces, and minor pieces, I know they're just very active in the middle game. We have an even exchange, but again, for you to lose 2 powerful pieces, those 2 minor pieces can work together to beat a rook any day, so that one pawn as compensation is going to hurt you later on as the game progresses. White has chosen a bad moment to castle, and black can start a strong attack. How should you do it? Right, so let's see. White has chosen the wrong moment to castle. Well, let's look at this position here. Is there anything that stands out to me in this position? This pawn is now pinned. Before it wasn't pinned, but now when you castle and see that this pawn is pinned, that's a red flag. I'm trying to think, how can I start a strong attack though? Because I'm not really seeing anything in this position. And I want to kind of talk through my thought process what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to even pick. Okay, I see something. I see that so there's 2 types of pins. There are absolute pins and there are relative pins. So absolute pins are pins that are bound by the constructs of the rules. So they're basically law and there's no way to break them. An absolute pin example is this pawn right here, because this pawn right here is pinned to your king. You can't put your king in check, which means you can't move a piece out of the way so that the king will be in check. So by rule and law, an illegal move would be to move this pawn. A relative pin is a piece that's pinned, meaning it can't move from that spot because of a stronger piece is behind it. So if you were to move this knight anytime, let's say I somehow was threatening his bishop and I take, and he can't take back because he has a stronger piece, which is the queen behind it. But you can break the rules of a relative pin in a couple of different ways. And a couple of different ways is, if he was to take with check, then that would mean that he wouldn't be losing the piece, because I'd have to deal with that. I'd have to deal with the attack first, and then I wouldn't be able to take the queen, because you can move the queen. Another way is if he was to move the knight, and it would also attack my queen, maybe without it being able to be taken back. So then he'd take a piece, I'd take the queen, and he would take the pink queen as well, which means he wouldn't be losing more points, and he wouldn't be losing the queen because we would just be trading. So those are like just a couple of examples how to beat a relative pin. But in this specific scenario, he has an absolute pin, which doesn't really do much for us right here, but he does have a relative pin, and this does do something for us here because I can jump my knight in, and put more pressure on this relative pin. And what's so pivotal about this is there's no way for him to defend this knight any extra ways because he's committed his bishop to c4, so the bishop can't come back to provide some extra protection here. And this is a dark square bishop, it'll never protect the light squares. This is the queen, obviously, so him taking back here would just kind of defeat the purpose of the relative pin. It would just defeat the purpose because, you know, of you know, abiding by the pin, because if I take and he takes and then I take the queen, he'd still just be losing, you know, a piece that's worth more than the pieces that I've traded. And there's no way to maneuver his rooks and fast enough to, you know, protect that knight or even kind of do anything. So what's so dangerous about this situation is he's not at all losing material, but he's going to be forced to take with the pawn, because if I take with the knight with check, and then, or I mean, I could honestly take with the bishop probably too, but I'm going to assume they want me to take with the knight with check. So once I get my knight here, he can't play enough defense fast enough. I take with check, he's going to be forced to take with the pawn because he can't take with the queen and lose 9 points. And once he takes with the pawn, or honestly, I might need to take with the bishop because it's an attack on the queen directly. Yeah, I honestly think that might be the move, taking with the bishop, just so I won't get my because either way, whatever piece he takes with, he's gonna have to take back with the pawn, damaging his pawn structure in front of the king, severely weakening his king. So that is why that's a strong attack. Now, my debate is whether I should take with, so this is the correct move. My debate is, oh, well, I'm gonna deal with what they're saying afterwards. My debate is whether I should take with the bishop or the knight. I'm leaning towards the bishop because either way he's taking with the pawn. If I take with the knight, it's a check. But when he takes with the pawn, I'll be forced to move my bishop, and that makes me lose tempo. Gaining tempo and losing tempo is very important in chess. Tempo is just the ability to make a move faster, or whether you make a move slower than your opponent. Gaining tempo is typically used in a positive connotation, which means you you know, gain that extra move. In chess, games can last as long up to 30 moves. So when you put that in the grand scheme of things, you have 8 pieces here and 8 pieces here. You have 16 pieces on the board. If you only have, let's say, 30 or 32 moves, on average, you can only move each piece twice. Obviously, that's not the case, because you'll get in these end games where they get to like 50 moves or possibly even 70 or 80 moves because you're just pushing these pawns or jumping back and forth with the king. But, you know, kind of on average, you know, an average chess game might, you know, have around like 30, 40 moves, you know, if you get checkmated. So to put that in perspective, imagine me on my chess notation or on my run sheet. I burn one move because I had to move my bishop back. When you play it like that, it's like, wow, you literally only have 32 moves till this whole thing is over, and you have to waste one of those moves doing that. So that is why tempo is a term that is commonly used in chess, because if you can develop a piece, for example, like if, let's say I wanted to bring my pawn to c6 anyway, if I slide my pawn up to c6 and attack his knight, if it wasn't attacking another piece here, he'd have to move his knight back, and I get my pawn to c6 like I wanted to, but I now get another move, almost as if I didn't move my pawn to c6. So you just kind of got to keep those in mind of like, oh, this move helps me gain tempo, and I wanted to play it anyway, so let's play this move, and then I get another move because he has to deal with the threat of that move. So that is another way to gain tempo. In this specific scenario right here, they're saying good decision. White attempted to copy black's idea, but black hasn't castled yet. So double pawns aren't an issue. What should black play? Okay, so nice. Basically, I don't have to castle in this scenario because I haven't committed that way. So if he takes, I'm honestly just gonna take with my pawn and probably slide my queen, not there, slide my queen somewhere else and then castle alongside over here because I haven't committed. So his king is gonna be weak, my king is gonna be snug. It's always safer to castle short side, but nothing wrong with castling long side. So I think let's really think what the best decision here is. I'm really thinking I should take with the bishop, so I'm going to go with that move. Black is slightly better, but there's a threat that is significantly stronger. Okay. Wow. So knight takes f3. This is a good capture, but there's a threat that is even stronger. Okay, so now I'm a little lost. Now I'm lost. Well, let's try to figure this out because I was so sold on taking with the bishop or the knight. And again, they're saying I'm winning, but they say there's something even stronger that I can play. Huh. Let's think. Let's think. My first thought is to kick the pawn. I mean, kick the bishop with the pawn. But I don't know if that's the right move. Because it just doesn't feel like double pawns are an issue. Could be the move though. Forcing his bishop to kind of make a move here. Oh. That's the only move I can see here. Look at it, just the h6 and kick the bishop with the pawn. I don't see any other moves. Good decision. White attempted to copy black's idea, but black hasn't castled yet, so double pawns are an issue. What should black play? Double pawns are not an issue in this scenario. Ah, I'm now looking at b5, and maybe I don't even need to castle alongside b5. Because I kick this bishop. Ah. Those are the only moves I can see, b5 or h6. That's the only moves I can see, actually. I might just have to give b5 the shot. I can't see anything else. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Six, b5, maybe h6. h6. Okay, h6 is an alternative. So I'm playing, all the moves I'm saying are alternatives. Like I can play all of these moves. Except for bishop takes f3. That was the move they were like, they weren't feeling that one the best. But they said I can play this move. I can play this move. Can I play this move? There's a better move. Try again and look for a useful threat. c6. c6 was the move. How should I expose Black's king? Black is only slightly better. Try looking for. I don't like that capture though. Why? Oh. So this whole time I was looking to drop my bishop back to h5 when I can actually slide my bishop up. Okay. Okay. Nice. Black has a dangerous attack, but White's bishop blocks the G file. What should you do about it? Black has a dangerous attack, but White's bishop blocks the G file. I'm looking at playing this move and then looking at pushing, but I can see once I go here, I think the king will go over to h1. What I'm predicting, and oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I go there anyway, and the bishop has to take. I go here. King is forced back there. I go here. And goes there, and now I grab the queen. Let's see. Good start. How should you continue the attack? Here, he has to take. Yes. I go here. Nice move. How should I continue to attack? And then I slide back here and grab the queen. Excellent. Well played. This is the sort of trouble that the pins on f3 or f6 can cause to either player. Agreed. Pinning a knight on the king side is rarely advantageous before the opponent has castle. How can Black take advantage of the poorly placed bishop on h4? Let's see, I'm looking median looking at kicking with g5. Yeah, I'm immediately thinking about kicking with g5. I'm looking at this move, but I don't know if it does anything fast enough. Yeah, let's play like here. Oh wow. White should have retreated the bishop to g3 where it's possible, but material remains even. White's knight sacrifice looks scary, but Black can refute it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I take. And then I just... Doesn't look scary at all, actually. Can I just go to g8? Honestly, can I sack my queen? Check checks. Now check. Now he could go there. Play g8, yeah. Yeah. How should you prevent White from applying more pressure to the pin knight? So yeah, you can play right there. That would be an issue. So I could probably jump in with the knight early. But I'm looking at. Or I could play bishop to g4. Then he'd go right there. I really gotta think of my follow-up because the only thing I'm thinking is go here and he probably could go there. Then I'll force back here. That would suck. Oh no. If he, yeah, he can't play right there. Right. White will use the f6 to win material. Ah. Knight right there. Pretty heartbreaking. Pretty heartbreaking. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong way to attack, add pressure then. So knight right there. Is that the move? I mean bishop right here. Black is doing well, but there's a pin that's stronger. Try to find it. I'm looking for a pin. Oh. Good work. White won't be able to take advantage of the pin on f6. Eventually, black should convert the material advantage into a win. Huh. Guess that doesn't do what I thought it would, huh? I want to take this into this portion. So yeah, we go right here with it. He took. This is wrong. Takes here. Here. You want to play here? Okay, so this is what I'm calculating. I'm like, dog, what if he plays? So apparently the best move for the opponent is to play f3. And that's what I was like, dog, what if he plays f3? What am I supposed to play? My guy, I'm V Triet. I hope I said it right. My guy, how you doing, man? I'm just trying to learn the English now. Oh, can I jump in with the knight? Is that my best move? Knight d4, nope. Knight d4 is a mistake. Let's look at the lines. Lines is bishop g6, okay. And am I just okay? Thought that'd be an issue. a3, g3, queen g3, a3. Okay, kicking or also playing queen e3. Okay, so I'm just okay after this. There's no correct pronunciation, no worries, lol. English or Italian? This looks like Italian, not English. Wow, spot on. Is the Italian. It's spot on. You hit it on the nail. I was making a video too. I was gonna basically make a video called Learning the Italian, so you don't have to. What you been up to, man? How's your day been? White's big pawn center threatens to take over the game, but black has a good defensive resource. What should you play? Right, threatens to take over that center. Can I play? Can I play takes and then check? Can I check afterwards? And then can I just take the pawn since it's no longer being pinned? And I'm looking at if I take the pawn and he plays here though. But I'm not really worried. I'm not really too worried about that at all. Yep. Let's see if his best move afterwards is to fly the queen over to queen. No, it's not his best move. Queen to b3. This is castle. Queen to b3. Oh, fair enough. Queen to c2. Or no, yeah, queen to c. Oh, or just go right here. This isn't a good move, is it? That's a mistake. I want to know how to punish it. d5. How does that punish it? d5? How does that punish that? Castle, bishop, b5. Oh, because it's pinned. Goodness. Let's see. Not too bad. Been a bit tired and played some pretty terrible chess, but got my first ever castle. What? You got a castle check? Send me the game. Send me the game. I'm gonna review it. I've got to see such a checkmate being played. All right, nice. So, good work. With careful play from black, white might struggle to demonstrate enough compensation for the sacrifice pawn. All right, so let's see. Black's knight on e4 is vulnerable to attack. How should white take advantage? Probably by castling, in my opinion. Want to probably no, no, it's not by castling. Ooh, nice. Send me the link. I'm gonna review it after. Are you okay if I turn it into a video too? I feel like that'd be cool. Maybe playing, maybe playing here. No, 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 no. Probably not that. I think that's the one. Perfect. Dang. Bishop takes. The knight on e4 is weak. But what should I do about it is a fantastic question. And I don't know the answer to it either. Yeah, sure, it was a pretty easy game. One blunder by the opponent sent it spiraling. Give me a hint. Attack the e4 knight and prevent black from defending the d pawn. Ah. Did I just take? I'm starting to rush because I want to review your game. What was the hint? Attack the e4 knight and prevent black from defending the d pawn. Okay. Okay. And I could play here now. Great. White has a dominant center and a safer king. I can also share a game that's the opposite if you want. A game I really just truly sucked at instead of give you hope that, hey, the 2000s maybe ain't so far after all. Man, I gotta tell you, man, because I hit 1800 elo on Rapid. Bro, I won this one game after just blundering early on. And it was like, I was like, bro, yeah, 1800s is not 1800s is not that good. Because I got in my mind, I was like, dog, these guys are good, but bro, they were not that good. I'm like, bro, yeah, I had no business winning that game. How should black prevent? But yeah, send me that one too, and we're gonna react to both of them. Honestly, how should black prevent white from dominating in the center? D5 was pretty simple. I play that a lot. Or like it's a common move to stop the center at least. Black has captured too many pawns and white can win material. How should you do it? I'm pretty sure I've seen this. Right? Well, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Like this. We're doing too much. We're doing a little too much. Black's been incautious and white can win material. Okay. Now this has to be the case. No, that's not it either. I don't know. I'm looking at there. The first thing I'm looking at. Then like there. We're gonna see. That's right. G4 is an alternative. Okay, so that is actually a good move. But another threat with a pawn is even stronger. Is this a strong move? Okay, I didn't think it was strong. This move, good start. What's next? Oh my God, is this bishop trap? No, that sucks. How did Gioacchino Greco, the first great master of the Italian opening, justify his immense material sacrifices? Here we go. Oh, in a holdable position. That's holdable? Crazy. The better attacking option. Try looking for a stronger threat. Here, maybe? Oh, dang. Thinking I go here with it. It's a good move, but Greco preferred to bring his knight into the attack. Of course he did. Of course he did. Black wins more material, but white's attack is unstoppable. How should you threaten checkmate? I really don't know. Like this? Wow. Wow, that's a crazy attack. Dog, that is a crazy attack. How should you win material and prepare for checkmate? Dog, I did it. All right. Triet.